Hey guys, Lego and Funko here, back for another Lego video. Today I'm going to be showing you my custom Lego police force made up entirely of monsters. So let's get straight into this with the first member. Okay, so we're starting off with this guy. He's called Bookham Dino. He's made up with pieces from the Lizard Man from the one of the CMF series, and then a normal Lego policeman, and then he just has a plain black head to make up mouth, and then he just has the lizard tail piece. So yeah, I think that's about it for Bookham Dino. Let's move on to the next character. This is Edward Frog Hands, which I made as a reference to the film Edward Scissorhands because I thought it would be funny. See, he just got some normal Lego frogs for hands, and then I used green hands as well, so it blends in. I gave him the gnome hat from one of the CMF series, I don't know why, and then he has the Viking head from another CMF series, and then just a normal policeman body with some plain navy legs. I think that's about it for this guy. Let's move on to the next character. This guy's Rhino Dan, which I made as a reference to Dino Dan, the TV show. He has a rhino head from the Chima line. He has the clown face, just so eyes can stay white, and then a classic policeman body. I really like how this character turned out, so now let's move on to the next character. Okay, this guy is the Invisible Fig, which is a reference to the Invisible Man film. He's got just a clear Lego head, which I got from the Lloyd's NRG Dragon set because of the lantern. He has the navy cap with headphones, and I gave him no hands just so it looks like his hands are invisible, and then just use the custom normal police body as usual. I think that's about it for the Invisible Fig, so let's move on to another character. Okay, this is the Abominable Policeman, which is like the Abominable Snowman, or the Yeti as some people call it. Just used the Yeti from one of the CMF series over, as you can see, a normal policeman body, and then I just put the blue hands from the Yeti on as well. I do like this minifigure, probably one of my favourites. So now let's move on to the next figure. Okay, so this is Bat Squatch, which I made as a reference to the Sasquatch, which is another name that people have for Bigfoot. And then I also gave him the Brickfoot or Squarefoot's head from the Monster CMF series. And then I gave him Man Bat's body from the Lego Batman movie, and then Policeman's legs. I do like this guy, probably another one of my favourites, because he's like a bat, and I do love him. It's really cool, bats are really cool. Anyway, let's move on to the next character. Now we're up to the point where I couldn't think of names for them, so this guy's literally just called Steve. He's the biker, he's got green hands. The hands are off-coloured because I couldn't find another hand that fits the colour of the face. This is the Mighty Micros Hulk. You see, this hand matches the face colour. And you can see this one doesn't really. I couldn't really find the pieces. Now this guy, he has a different uniform because he's the biker guy from the mountain police stuff. And then he has his helmet as well. This figure is probably my least favourite just because you can't really tell that he's a monster unless you take off the mask properly. Anyway, let's move on to the next characters. Okay, so these are the Bite Bros. This guy is Flappy, the bat, and this guy is Not Flappy. His name is actually just Not Flappy. Yeah, I do like, my favourite of the two is definitely Not Flappy, as in it's Not Flappy, as in the character name. This is going to be confusing. I gave him just a brown arms to show he's kind of a werewolf ripping through the police outfit. And then I gave him some claws that I got from the Niffler from Dimensions. He's got the normal werewolf head from one of the CMF series. This is not the Monsters CMF series, it's a different one, because the Monsters one had a mould for it. This is a really cool minifigure, so let's move on to Flappy. So here's Flappy here. He's got the vampire bat's head and ears from one of the CMF series, and I could not find his body. I would have used it, but I couldn't find it in my minifigure pieces drawer, which is very full. I think that's about it for this gruesome twosome, the Bite Bros, which I think are some of my favourite characters. Now let's move on to the head of police. Okay, this guy's called the Walking Head. It's a reference to The Walking Dead, and because he's the head of the police. I just used the zombie workman from the spooky series of CMF. I used his face, his body, and his legs. The only difference I really made is he has grey gloves on that aren't, because his hands are like grey in the normal minifigure, and I changed them to dark grey like he's wearing gloves. And then I also gave him the police chief hat, which I think is cool. No back printing anyway. I really like this figure. And that's the last one. Thanks for watching Lego and Funko. See you on Sunday for another awesome video. And remember, like, subscribe and slap the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future content.